Hi, good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dion Parson. Welcome to this week's episode of Sounds of the Diaspora, artist to artist conversation with yours truly. Gives me great pleasure to introduce this week's guest, someone that I've known for many, many years, guitarist, educator, arranger, an all-around great human being. Please join me in welcoming to the show, Mr. Ron Jackson.
Ta-da! I'm here.
How's it going?
Good. Try to stay awake.
Stay awake? Oh man, it's early. It's still early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you, man. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, been a while. I haven't seen you. I think the last time I saw you was maybe before the pandemic. I mean, in person at Johnson Lincoln Center outside someplace. Something like that.
Yeah, and you've been doing some great things with your business, your entrepreneurship, and your guitar, and all of that good stuff. We'll talk about that, but let's just jump right into it. I want our listeners to know who Ron Jackson is. Some of them don't know, some of them do know, and they are some of your faithful followers. But you're originally born in the Philippines, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. But you moved around as a kid.
Yeah, my father. I was born on Subic Bay Naval Station. My father was a Marine in the United States Navy, and he was fighting in Vietnam. When I was born there, my brother, and before he was stationed there, he was stationed in Japan. He fought 2 tours in Japan and in Vietnam, and then we moved all over the states. My brother was born not too long after in Quantico Naval Station, which is the head of FBI training center. And we just moved all over the country when I was a kid, like Hawaii, Oregon, California, Texas, Ohio, Virginia. Of course, that's where Quantico is. Then we settled in Massachusetts when I was in high school.
Oh wow!
And I had military privileges. I was able to go on a military base and just buy anything, hang out till I was 18. And after that, after that, I had to either, I had to enlist. So I said, my father said, don't ever do that. Because that was his way out. He grew up very poor. So that's why he joined,
Mm,
and he said that was rough. The
yeah.
Vietnam War was really rough. So,
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So you moved around and you didn't join the military. But so the introduction to the guitar, how did that happen?
oh, when I was a kid in high school near Boston, I had some friends that played guitar, and I was into rock. So I picked up the electric guitar, and I learned from my friends how to play. Basically, I was self-taught. I was trying to find a teacher, but there was not a real teacher around there. So when I was growing up, so then I finally went to Berklee, and that's where I got my formal training.
Hmm.
But even though I was a jazz composition and arranging major, that's when I really got my stuff together. Or try to get it together back then.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And at Berkeley, you met a bunch of other musicians, your peers, of course, and started doing stuff. And that's when you got you. That's when you got really. That's when you started focusing on jazz at Berkeley.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wanted to always play jazz when I was a kid, so I was into that. And I knew a teacher that was at Berkeley at the time. He wasn't a guitar teacher. I think he played a little bit, and that's why I really got to jazz was Berkeley. And I
Okay.
studied jazz composition arranging. Then I moved to Paris for couple of years, actually.
Okay then.
Yeah, I was there for 2 years. Then I moved to New York after that. You know,
Why Paris?
huh?
Why Paris?
Oh, I had a French girlfriend actually at Berkeley, and then we moved there together. Then we broke up, and then I just stayed. And there were a bunch of Americans there. But what the thing was, I was so stressed out about Berkeley, about my playing, and even though I was like a scholarship student and doing all the big concerts in the concert halls, I quit playing guitar for a couple of years when I went to Paris. I started playing bass.
No kidding. Okay, see,
Yeah,
I didn't know all of that.
yeah.
That's the
Then I
side of the
came.
Jackson that I didn't know.
Yeah, so it was funny because I knew this guy, this great piano player at Berkeley, who was from Denmark, named Niels Landoki,
Hmm.
and we were in touch. He said, "Well, Ron, I need a roommate, man, to in New York here. You want to move to New York?" I said, "Oh, okay." So I was in touch. So I just moved to New York. Like never been to New York. Really, just moved to that place.
Hmm.
And that's how I moved to New York. Basically, he needed a roommate, and I just stayed.
Are you still in touch with Niels?
Not much. I
Hmm.
used to be really in touch for a while, but not. Well, I know he's like a big over there. You know.
He's doing some great things in Denmark. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I got to be more in touch with him about that stuff. But yeah, he was always big even when I was when I knew him because he was like a star already.
Hmm.
And that country, a small country like that. But it's cool. And so we've been in touch, but not that much, not as much as I'd like to. I need to be more in touch with people in general. I think these days, you
Hmm.
know. But
Well, you focus on your thing. So you moved back to New York and you got in the scene right away and started playing around and you played with some great musicians. Share with us some of the folks you played with.
I don't know, Taj Mahal, Jimmy McGriff, just different kinds of people.
Hmm.
I started studying with Melvin Sparks when I got hit to New York, and he was one of my mentors. So he tried recommending me to stuff.
Hmm.
Randy Weston, just a bunch of different kinds of people. And I was trying to do my own thing, but when I was about when I was 24, 25, I got signed to Muse Records, like a 5 record deal.
Hmm.
And I was just trying to do my own thing at one point, and then I went under because they got sold. And I only recorded 3 albums, and then all of them are gone now because they were bought by 32 Jazz, and they went bankrupt, and all the masters are gone. And
Hmm.
before that happened, I was trying to buy my masters. I should have just bought them. You know what I mean? Now you can't even find them. I would have owned them right now and been making money off them, but you don't know about that stuff, happening.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've just been basically. I mean, I've been I was doing a lot of stuff like in New York. You're trying to make money and just trying to make a living, and I had kids, so I was trying to do I started to do a lot of Broadway and that kind of stuff to make money. But I realized that it was great. I have a pension and everything now, actually, from that. But you sacrifice your career a little bit because no one really. I mean, people know about me, obviously, but they don't know. I could have had more records out if I just stuck to playing jazz. I realized, so I
Hmm.
just stopped. I made a conscious decision not to do that stuff anymore and just focus on Ron Jackson. which I came to New York to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
just go all out what I do with my stuff now. Just and if you do it that way, you can make money. Because there are people that do that. That focusing on that stuff.
Yeah.
And so
So you've
yeah.
been doing a lot of teaching. I know you and I both taught at NJ Pack for many years, and you do a lot of private teaching. And I know during the pandemic you started like your own in-house studio and started your own stuff online. Share with our audience, how did you or when did you decide to do that and focus on building your own personal studio, and how did that come about?
Well, so during the lockdown, well, I was into social media a little bit before the pandemic. But when everything shut down, I mean, there was nothing else to do except go live. So I started like, what I did? My wife got me. It was July. I remember July of 2020. She said, "Why you start a TikTok account?" I said, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
And when I started TikTok, I was one of the few jazz guitar players on there, and I suddenly I started getting more and more and more followers, and on TikTok, then I suddenly have almost 40,000 followers now. But I haven't been maintaining that. But at the same time, I was cross posting all my TikTok videos to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and just those short reels, short videos are called shorts in Instagram. I mean, in YouTube and Instagram they call them reels, and TikTok they call TikToks. I started cross posting all of my popular videos on TikTok. I had a few viral videos,
Mm-hmm.
and some of those viral videos became more viral, like on YouTube and Instagram. Like my most popular video is actually a TikTok video on YouTube. It has over 1 million views, things like that. It's just a short though. So it's just like a 60-second video. Shorts are 60 seconds or less. So I just started basically just posting a lot. But what happened was at the same time, you know, like everybody was trying to make money when everything was locked down. So I started a Patreon account in 2020 where, I don't have that many patrons, but it's like another way of making money without having to leave your house,
Mm-hmm.
and go live or whatever. So what I started doing was I used to teach for years, and I used to have like guitar exercises, like, the C major scale and how to play them on the quick fingerings. And I would put those on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Or, and then so if you're a patron, you pay monthly, like a fee. Depending, you can get 3 lessons here for a certain amount, etc. If you pay at the highest amount, you could get a private lesson. So I started making money like that. Just different streams of income through social media, basically, and Patreon. And then I would take my lessons and then put those on my. I started an online store. You could start putting things on. I got my website redone so I could start selling stuff on my website.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a WordPress site created by somebody, and during the pandemic, everything like during the pandemic, and because to sell my music, so you could actually sell digital downloads. Like I would take a PDF, upload it, someone buys it on PayPal, they hit the button, it downloads to their on their computer, and then they have the lesson. You don't have to even print anything out, and they can print it out if they want it.
Right.
And I started doing that, and so every month, since I had a Patreon, I would, I have to make sure I put content in there. So I would write these arrangements, six string, and I play 7 string guitar now. I would write arrangements out. And in the beginning, a lot of guitar, in the beginning, I just had my regular arrangements, like, notation, like anybody can read. But for most of my people that play guitar, they need tabs too. So I had to, you know, like transfer everything to make them to tabs as well, sheet music,
Mm-hmm.
so I could sell to everybody that wants to
Right.
learn how to play jazz or get into that. So I just started building a catalog, basically, and and what happened was 2 years ago, I opened a Shopify account. Shopify is great for selling everywhere. If you want to sell something, open a Shopify account. you know, and you can get like, and basically because if you put everything on Shopify, it integrates. All my stuff shows up on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all my shops, and so people can buy it there. Bands in town, it's just so many places. It goes into Amazon if you have that kind of stuff, and so my Shopify, my website now is actually a Shopify site. It's a website, but it's a store really. But it has the
Right.
same thing as a website. So, but it has the store in it. You could do all kinds of different things for selling to people. You could use integrations where it sends out emails. You can, just like regular stores do. Like if you want to buy clothes, they send like automation. So it's like, hey Ron, you forgot your cart. So that kind of stuff. So I'm using that now. It's fairly new. I've only been doing it for like maybe a year or less, and it's still getting going. But I'm just trying to do everything myself like
Mm-hmm.
that. But the thing is, anybody can do this now. That's the thing. So it's not like I'm not telling you anything new. So, so I mean, people have been doing this for a while. Except a lot of musicians, particularly jazz musicians, don't do this too much. That's the whole thing. And I just see other musicians in other genres who do the same exact thing, but they're on a bigger scale because they're like more like, I was talking about my friend Marty Schwartz. He has millions of subscribers, you know, and and like on YouTube, and then he's been doing this for 15 years already. See,
Right.
so it's a bigger scale, but it's basically this is all public knowledge. You can just do it yourself. It just takes you just have to sit there and dedicate your time when you're not gigging to like building your social media and using that as a platform to attract people that like what you do. Basically, people who like what I do, that they're serious. Um, so just so you know, if people who are on YouTube and social media, they want everything for free, basically, because that's
Mm-hmm.
why they're there. They're going, hey man, can you play me this? Can you show me something? And they don't want to pay, but they don't want to do anything because and that's why then they realize later they're not getting any better. So those people who realize they're not getting better, they start getting serious. Then they start taking lessons, and it's true.
Right.
They
Right.
want everything for free, and they wonder why I can't play, man. Because you're looking at a video on YouTube and no one can check how you're playing. Say you're pressing your finger wrong. So that's when
Right.
they start getting a teacher. So when people get serious, they contact me, and
Mm-hmm.
those are what I call my super fans. They'll start
Mm-hmm.
buying my shirts and they'll start like buying my lessons. Pretty sure I'll have lingerie and underwear for them, but not yet. But anyway, you know,
I love it. I
you know.
love it.
But
I
you know
mean,
what I'm saying. So, but it's true though. So a lot of people want people on social media because they think they can learn how to play for free and not have a teacher. But all of us who are professional musicians study with somebody, obviously, to get better. Because you can't tell how you play unless someone tells you, "Hey, man, you're not pressing your, you're not doing the roll correctly. Your sticks are in the air, like whatever. You're not holding your strings. Your strings are buzzing. You need a teacher for that. You know.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's great that you're capitalizing on these, various avenues that's out there to one, share the information, and two, create a revenue stream for yourself. And that's a good thing. I think more and more musicians should check that out because it's an outlet, and you're sitting at home practicing, and that practicing can turn into a revenue stream if you understand how to work the system. And obviously, you figured that out with your
Yeah,
with
I
your.
mean, all I do is like I didn't compromise any of my artistic thing. All I do is like take my lessons and
Mhm.
I write them out so people could so they're accessible to people.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? And then I write them clearly. And I learned this also because for example, um, and I'll show you something like I write like so for example before the pandemic started, I was already a writer for a guitar magazine, acoustic guitar. So I have 3 books with them
Hmm.
already, and I've written about 20 lessons. And I'm actually in the current issue of acoustic guitar, July August. I have an issue. I have a lesson in there, so I know how to write lessons because because I've been writing for a magazine for the last 10 years already, and I have 3 books out with them, and so I just started doing this stuff myself, doing my own Ron Jackson method. And since I have a niche that's 7 string guitar, I'm starting to attract people who are 7 string guitar players to
Hmm.
start doing that. So, so a lot of these books, you have to know what you're doing when you write this stuff out. So I know what I'm doing. Of course, you know, when you write for a magazine, like you have to write the tabs and stuff. Like this is one of my lessons. It's about
Hmm.
walking bass lines. We have 4 editors that work at the magazine that check your stuff and make sure you're doing it right. But the hard part is I have to check my own stuff now. So sometimes there's something I might find a a little mistake here. It's not really a mistake. It's just maybe I had to transfer it to tabs correctly. So, that's the thing. When you're editing yourself, it's harder. But that's why, like I have right now, a moderator on Patreon. He'll check. One of my patrons, he'll just check what I did and make sure. Oh, that tab looks funny. I can't play that because it's the wrong string, man. Like you're trying to play something this long. And
so when you write for the regular guitar, but you also write for the 7-string as well.
Yeah, I write. So I'll show you. I write like arrangements and lessons. So this is just the first page. This is like a 7-string arrangement of this nearly was mine. So this has an extra string at the bottom. So I have to make sure, since most of my fans cannot read music at all, I have to write it out. And what I do is I'll write it out here, then I'll transfer it to tabs and make sure it's the way I want it played on the guitar. So
your fans can't read music, but they can read the tabs. They can follow the fingerings and stuff like that.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem with tabs.
Right.
You need to have the music to hear it because you can't tell what. Right. You're just looking at notes. You're just looking at like.
Right. It's not like following changes and understanding. I'm at the bridge now. I'm playing the chorus.
Well, no. Yeah, when you're reading music, you're actually reading music. You could actually read the notes and play music. But with tabs, you have no rhythms. You just have no idea what you're playing.
Right.
And so a lot of guitar players. So that's why I record the video on YouTube. So I'll put it on YouTube. They say, here's where you can buy the music. Here's a link. Touch here. Buy the, and then they go to you can join my Patreon, get it for free, or buy this individually for like $6.99, and then whatever. And then so it's recycled everywhere too. So it's on my Patreon, it's there, and then it's downloads, so I could sell it like 100 times.
Right.
Whatever,
It's great. I mean, that's one of the things I wanted. I'm happy you're talking about it. One of the subjects I wanted to talk about because you have excuse me, you have a unique distribution method for getting your music out there, where the average musician is still, dealing with a record label and digital downloads and going through that process. You're doing a lot of the stuff yourself. And
I do everything myself now. I decided.
You have your own label also, right?
Yeah, Roni Music. I mean, it's expensive to do everything yourself and promote it. Like my last album cost me like $20,000 to promote, but I did do a fundraiser too. So I had sponsors. So,
right.
So I use a lot. I'm trying to be, just independent. You can raise some money, So whenever I tour now, I have sponsors. So like, I'll have a guitar company give me $2,000 toward my tour. Someone else give me $500. They put their logo. Like when I toured and I released this album, this is a vinyl. Vinyls are the biggest thing too. I release vinyls. These sell out more than CDs.
Right.
Okay. I put these at the bottom. These are all my sponsors for the record. Though some gave lots of money. Some people gave like equipment or different things. Different.
Right.
I have different deals with people.
Right.
And
and the endorsements, you're able to put the tour together and go out and present yourself.
Yeah, it's not also endorsements. People give me cash for the tour, because it's expensive to do a tour. So I've been doing that, and a couple of years ago I got a Jazz Road grant, Jazz Road grant anybody can get. You just have to apply and get it, and make sure you have the right tour. And Jazz Road grants go up to 15 grand, So they gave me 15 grand actually for a tour a couple of years ago. You just have to apply, but this is all public knowledge. This is nothing. Yeah, so you just have to you just have to do these things. That's the thing. A lot of people just say, well, I don't.
Well, yeah, like most musicians, they're just out there looking for a gig. And in this day and age, it's really interesting because when you ask somebody for a gig, they say, well, what's your social media content look like? And they start, that's the conversation that, that's the new
But I do that. But the thing is, I have social media. And I think it's important to have it as promotion.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Like right now, my YouTube has 31,000 subscribers. And I have a section where I don't get as much views as I'd like, even though I have that many people. But I still make some money. But the thing is, they look to see people who want to promote this stuff. Look at your channel. There's a section in my YouTube where I can say how many views, and they look at the stats, and they want to. Now I'm asking, and I ask for a certain amount of money if they want to start promoting this stuff through that, But I get different little deals. I get little deals here and there. know, for
And that's,
they call it influencers. I'm an influencer.
right, and that's great, man. And you know what I'm enjoying hearing. You know, as much as you're doing all of that, you're still out here gigging and performing and doing your thing.
That's the most important thing.
Right,
You have to do both.
You get out there and perform. You want to,
you have to do both. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to sit home," because you know some of these influencers don't play out. They're just influencers. I don't even know how they play. But I'm a real musician trying to do this. You know, so there's some, I don't want to say to anybody, but there's some people who do this stuff. They have a lot of followers, but they're not really performing.
right.
I mean, I'm trying to do both, so I don't have as many followers as them, but I mean, I have enough. Just they know that I'm a real musician. You know what I mean? That's actually trying to do something.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're out here on the scene doing a lot of stuff. You've done the Broadway scene. You work with a lot of great musicians. I mean, we've worked together on projects, and it's great.
Exactly.
So,
and I've been to St. Thomas with you and all stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, also one of the things I do too is like I'm an influencer. So for example, like I don't have the app with me, but I'm a Henriksen influencer. It's an those small tiny guitar amps. You see them around town.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a code. Someone wants to buy the amp, they get 5% off, and I get a commission. I've sold maybe $100,000 worth of those amps already.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So basically, and I have a bunch of those deals. I work for a company, another company's Cremona. I just sold a guitar to a friend of mine. I get a commission. So I have all. It's not like I sell like 1,000 guitars, a year, but I sell. You just have to have a little bit of things happening, and it all adds up. Some kind of income, residual income.
And then you take all of that money, you go in studio, and then you make your next recording. So,
well, I wish it's not that easy. It's not that much money. But the thing is, it's a percentage now. Where I didn't have before. It's just another way of like making a living. That's all. It's just like, you're a musician, so you can't just rely on teaching, performing. You got to have other ways of making money. So I make money on royalties from songs. So I mean, these are all things everybody does, but you just have to. Everybody knows about all this. It's all public knowledge. You just have to do it. That's the hard part.
Organize it and do it, and be consistent with it, because a lot of people.
And also I have help. I have like an assistant that helps me with the stuff that I pay. That does a lot of the stuff. Like a lot of the back end work. And I tell people that a lot of people don't want to spend the money. Then they wonder why they're not getting anywhere, because they don't want to like invest in themselves to have an assistant to help them do some of this stuff. It's not like doing my content. I don't let them touch what I do with guitar, but the back end, like setting up my website, putting up putting together the graphics for my social media, they help me with booking now, my assistant. So, that kind of stuff, because I don't have time actually otherwise.
Right.
So you have to have an assistant,
That's great. Well, we've talked about the behind the scenes, the management, the administrative work, and all of the stuff that you're good at. And you're really good at details. That's the other thing. Not everybody's good at details and networking. You're really good at that. But
I should be more. I should network. The thing I need to do, Dion, is I need to hang out more. Like I used to hang out all the time, and I don't hang out. And plus living in Jersey, it's like it's kind of detrimental. Every time we cross that bridge, it costs like $15-20 just to cross. It's not even like you're not even spending anything. You're just crossing the bridge. So I like when you go to Manhattan, it's like then you go to Dizzy's or someplace, and then even if I come on the guest list, it's still $100 if you're with two people. It's like crazy, man. It's just so much money to go hang out now. Like you
gotta pick your spots and make your rounds, because it shows it hangs. When I go back into the city, I'm out every night somewhere making my rounds. But again, like you say, you're in Jersey. I'm still back and forth in the city, but it helps. But you shared some music with us from Roni Music, and we've been talking about your entrepreneurship and your social media and the different revenue streams that you have, which is great, and I applaud you for that, for sharing that, because not everybody's that open. But the main reason we're here is because of your fantastic playing. So I want us to jump into some of that, because time is moving. We can stay and talk about all of the ways to make money as a musician.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear some of the product that you put out there, and then we'll talk about it. So we're just gonna jump into the music, and then we'll talk about the song afterwards. So
Sure.
the first song you shared with us is original, entitled "Walk Fast." So let's check it out, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Walk fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron. It's a beautiful trio song.
Yeah.
Walk fast, straight ahead. Love it, man. Yes, you have some fans there checking you out. It's beautiful.
Okay. Walk fast straight ahead. Love it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Great.
Demetrios.
So who's joining you on that recording?
It's Willie Jones III and Ben Wolf.
Great, Willie and Ben, two major icons. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've worked with them for a number of years.
Yeah, with Willie, I've done like recording sessions with him.
Mm.
The only time I ever worked with him was a couple of recording sessions, and then Ben, I played with him on and off, here and there, and I've known Ben for years and years. You know.
And what year did this come out? This recording?
2022.
2020. Okay, so this is your newest one.
Yeah, my newest was actually is an EP called Daydreaming. It just came out in April.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you might have. I don't know which cuts you have here to play, but
How many recordings as the leader? How many albums as the leader do you have out?
10.
10.
Yeah, I should have like 30 by now. Actually, like I should have a lot more. I mean, yeah, I mean, I could have had more if that Muse deal didn't go through, but
And Walk Fast. What's the concept behind that? I mean, what inspired you to write that?
it's just it's a bebop based tune, but it's like it's imagine walking down the street and you're in New York City in the Bronx, and you're walking home and it's dark. What do?
Mm.
You walk fast. That's what it talks about. Well, if you're like in like walking in the woods in Jersey here, you walk fast because of the possums and the bears walking around and stuff too.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have never looked at it that way, but Ron Jackson. All right.
Yeah.
The mind of Ron Jackson. I love it. Great. So so you did that recording, and then so the next song we have is so these are all originals. So it's an original entitled "Skipping," and what's that about? Skipping.
Oh, it's just I would call it skipping because of the disjointed sounding melody, skipping around. And
Okay.
then it's a blues with a extended form, basically, with a kind of a weird form, like 14 bars or something. But yeah, you can check it out. It's Winard Harper on drums and Pat Bianchi on organ.
This is an organ trio.
Yeah, this is an organ trio.
All right. So let's check out "Skipping" by Ron Jackson. Skipping. You have a couple connotations of other songs in there, so it reminds me of like a couple songs. Yeah.
Which one?
I was trying to remember the names, but it's like, you know, what's the name of that song?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about. You just want to give up your secret.
Yeah, they stole it from me.
They stole it from you.
Yeah.
Great groove walk, fast skipping. Do you have hopping? Okay, I see what it's Ron Jackson. You think differently. I love it. It's an interesting approach.
I like that comment. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, great rhythm section with Winard and Pat Bianchi holding it down on organ. Great stuff. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, let's continue, man. So the next song we have here is another original entitled "Roundabout." Let's check it out. Yeah, you took that one back to the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the reasons I play that kind of music is because you're playing in your band.
Oh
Actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. What do you think, man? I wasn't playing that stuff before, man. You kind of corrupted me with that Caribbean
I
stuff.
corrected you. I
Yeah, that's
love
one of the reasons I play that stuff because that stuff you do that stuff really great. So that's
it.
what inspired me actually.
I love it. I love it. I love who's is it, well, that's Willie Jones and Ben Wolf again, right?
It's Clark Gayton on trombone.
That's Clark Gayton. Wow. Okay. Man, that's my man. I haven't seen Clark in a while. How's he doing?
He's not doing too well, man. He had a bad stroke, and he
Oh
hasn't
yeah.
played ever since. It's like been almost 2 years.
Wow. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear this.
He's been
Clark,
disabilitated. I mean, he's
he
been
was he
disabilitated.
was playing with everybody, man. Steel Pulse. I mean, he was like on like
Oh
the
no, but he was rehearsing with Bruce Springsteen. He had that stroke.
yeah. Wow.
It's terrible, man. I went to see him. He has like aphasia now and all that. We can't talk.
Yeah.
All that. It's really bad, man. He can't
Clark
play.
was great, man. He was. I mean, I would see him
He
on
was
the
one of the
road.
top. He was one of the best trombone players I ever knew.
Yeah. Wow.
One of
I'm
my
sorry
good
to
friends
hear
from
that.
college. We went to
Yeah.
school together. I played on a few of his albums.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I work with him on different projects, man. He sounds great, great. Yeah, but man, give him my best, man. I'm
yeah, I'm
sorry.
gonna go try to visit him. He's in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to
Okay.
visit him, but he's like like in a recovery place.
Yeah. Wow.
He's been
Wow.
there for almost two. It's been like that for
Mm.
2 years now. Yeah, Bruce
Well,
Springsteen's been on tour, a world tour. He was on that. He was about to go on tour with him, world tour.
yeah. Yeah. Well, man, you presented some really beautiful stuff, music wise, some from traditional walk fast. Don't walk down the dark alley or in the out in
In
the
St.
yard.
Thomas, in St.
Yeah,
Thomas,
just walk fast.
in St. Thomas. They might hit you with a coconut.
And then skipping and then roundabout. So we're gonna end this with another Ron Jackson original entitled "Sketches of Light." Let's check it out. And that was Sketches of Light by.
Yeah, that's Rodney, my friend, my super fan.
Oh, okay, that's your super.
Yeah. He's my moderator on Patreon. He has a lot of my records and T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. He's a great guy. He started learning 7-string guitar because of me.
Okay,
he's in San Diego. Just give a big shout out to Rodney in San Diego. Yay!
There you go. You have all the fans coming out supporting, man. I love it, man. So Ron, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Let's play together soon together.
Yeah, our time
None of this virtual stuff, man. Let's play.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Good.
So, but before we leave, I know you've been talking about your social media and all of the stuff on the website. Just share with our audience where they can follow you and check you out real quick.
It's very easy, everybody. You can follow me everywhere at Ron Jackson Music. It's that simple. Everywhere. It's the same word. That's the best way to find yourself, is having the same handle. So you can find me at all the social medias at Ron Jackson Music. You could, all the payment types of Ron Jackson Music. Everything is Ron Jackson Music. RonJacksonMusic.com. Everything is Ron Jackson Music. That's simple. That's all.
That's simple.
Yes, it is. It's true. I did it on purpose. You have to be. Some people have like 10 different names for different things. Like, which one is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Ron, thank you for sharing your inside stuff with us and all of the entrepreneur stuff that you're doing and administrative stuff, managing your own business and performing as a well-rounded guitarist. 7-string, that's great, man. So continue the great work, your education stuff, and all of the things that you're doing. There you go.
7-string, yeah.
7-string.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Ron. And
it's great to see you again, man. After all these years, I miss playing in your band. You gotta have me as a guest sometime, man.
we work all of that out, man. But it's been great. It's been great, and all the stuff that you're doing. Congratulations again, and continued success to you.
And likewise for your show, man. And keep on doing the things you're doing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ron.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Take care. That was the one and only Ron Jackson. As you can tell, he's always up to something, doing great things, staying on top of the business, the industry, moving forward with his stuff. So it's a wealth of information. Just go check him out, Ron Jackson Music, on social media and his website. And next week, we have part 2 of our steel pan episode. The first one we did a number of months ago, volume 1, with the great Leon Thomas and the great Victor Provost, as they brought us the history of the steel pan. And we're going to continue that next week, volume 2 of the steel pan episode, with these 2 giants of music in the steel pan world, as we welcome them to Sounds of the Diaspora for the second edition of the Steel Pan show. So we look forward to seeing you next week on Sounds of the Diaspora. All the best, everyone. Take care, and thank you for joining us. Have a blessed evening.
JBH Boutique Care offers you a unique exclusive membership in our nationwide concierge medical services network. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Judine Bontemps-Hill. I'm double board certified in family and obesity medicine. We pair exclusive personalized care with accessibility and convenience. A better way for you to receive immediate quality medical care. Whether at our main Orlando, Florida office, traveling across the U.S. or visiting the States, we bring you the best medical care without waiting for an appointment. Become a member today by calling 407-234-5282 or visit us online at jdhmeg1.com. JBH Boutique Care is proud to sponsor Sounds of the Diaspora, music and conversations with artists, and host Dion Parson every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Source TV Radio Network, WTSN, Washington, D.C.